In 2017, when we received our first mortgage statement after buying our home, something didn't sit right. We had been paying for a year, and the balance had barely moved. That was the moment we made a firm decision. We were not going to spend 35 years paying this off. We would clear it within 10 years instead. At the time, interest rates were only around 2%. A lot of people didn't understand our decision. Why rush? They asked. The rate is so low. And honestly, during the journey, I questioned myself too. Was this really the smartest move? But the day we finally made the last payment, 7 years later, I knew something for sure. If I had to choose again, I would make exactly the same decision. Today, I will share why we made that decision in the first place, the 8 specific strategies we used to pay off our mortgage early. And at the end, I will show you what life really feels like on the other side. Why that sacrifice turned out to be one of the best decisions we ever made. Hi, I'm Cici, an FCCA qualified accountant with a master's degree in finance. After years of working in UK accounting firms, my goal now is simple: to strip away the jargon and help you make smarter decisions about money, tax, and investing. Let me take you back to where it all began. It was 2016. We fell in love with this house the moment we saw it. And to afford it, we borrowed the maximum we could at the moment, a £330,000 mortgage. To keep the monthly payments affordable, we stretched the term to 35 years. At the time, interest rates were low, around 2%, so we told ourselves it would be manageable. And for the first year, the monthly payment felt relatively comfortable. Everything seemed fine, until 1 year later, when we received our first mortgage statement. My heart sank. We had paid £13,000 that year, but the mortgage balance had only dropped by £6,500. The other £6,500, pure interest, gone, vanished into bank's pocket. That hit me hard, because I knew one thing: rates won't stay at 2% for the next 34 years. So what happens when they go up? So I ran the numbers. At more typical rates, say 4.5%, a £330,000 mortgage over 35 years would cost roughly £330,000 in interest alone. That's as much as the loan itself. We would pay £330,000 for the house and another £330,000 just to the bank. We'd literally be paying double. Insane, right? Then I asked myself, what if we shortened the term? If we dropped it to 20 years, the total interest would fall to around £170,000. And if we went even further, 10 years, the interest would drop to roughly £80,000. That's about £250,000 in interest saved. But here's the real question: how much extra would we need to pay each month to make that happen? To reduce it to 20 years, we'd need to pay about £500 extra per month. To reduce it to 10 years, we'd need to pay about £2,000 extra per month. When we saw the numbers laid out like that, it didn't feel impossible, it felt challenging. So we looked at each other and made a choice. We were not going to hand that money to the bank. We wanted this mortgage gone. So we spent the next few years deliberately increasing our monthly surplus and using every extra pound to overpay the mortgage. 7 years of aggressive overpayments later, we made the final payment. And now I want to share 8 deliberate strategies that made it possible, so that if you have the same goal, you can start your own journey too. Let's start with the simplest one you can implement today. The first thing we changed wasn't the amount, it was the timing. Here is something most people don't know. UK mortgages calculate interest daily. Every single day your balance sits there, interest quietly adds up. So we did something simple. We moved our mortgage payment to right after payday. Same money, just earlier. Why does this matter? Because the moment your balance drops, every day after that, you are paying interest on a smaller number. If your payday is the 25th, set your mortgage payment for the 26th or 27th. Leave a small buffer for weekends and the bank holidays. It's a tiny change, but over 20 or 30 years, it can save you thousands. Think of it like this. You just stopped the first leak. Strategy number 2. Stop the rest of the money from leaking out. We needed total control, so every payday we sat down and gave every pound a job. Here is how we structured it. First, emergency funds. We broke them down into clear buckets: house repairs, car maintenance, holidays, our kids' education, and a levy fund for no-income periods like redundancy or illness. Every single one is automated on the first of each month into its own savings account, so we never miss them. Second, fixed costs. Mortgage, council tax, utilities, groceries, subscriptions. Everything that has to be paid, all set up as direct debits at the start of the month. Third, whatever's left, that's flexible spending: food, clothes, eating out, fun. And here is the key. On the month where we spent less, that extra cash went straight to the mortgage. Because we had emergency funds ready, we never had to pause our overpayments when something unexpected happened. That gave us stability. If this feels overwhelming, start small. Even 100 to 200 pounds a month adds up fast. The rule is simple. Automate the important stuff first, cover the basics, then live on the rest. That's how we stopped living paycheck to paycheck and started building real freedom. Strategy number 3. Cut all the unnecessary spending. And just to be clear, we didn't stop enjoying life. We just stopped spending on things that didn't actually add real value. Let me show you what we cut. Eating out. We used to eat out or order takeaway 3 to 4 times a week. We dropped it to 3 to 4 times a month. This saved us hundreds without really hurting our lifestyle. Ghost subscriptions. You know the ones. £10 here, £30 there, quietly draining your account every month while you forget you even have them. We cancelled. Gym membership barely used. Magazines we didn't read, like The Economist. Streaming service we didn't watch, like Sky TV. Nintendo Switch Online, gone. Even our milk and more delivery switched to supermarket milk, way cheaper, no drama. Holidays. We cut out expensive overseas trips. Most of our holidays were local, and when we traveled abroad, we kept it simple and affordable. We realized the memories don't have to come with a luxury price tag. Clothes. We only buy what we actually need now. My shoe rack used to be ridiculous, tons of pairs collecting dust. Turns out I only wear 4 or 5 anyway. And we completely avoided luxury purchases. No designer handbags, no expensive watches, no status style items. Every pound we didn't spend on impressing others went toward impressing our future selves with financial freedom. The game-changer rule for us was the 2 weeks call-off. Anything non-essential, we forced ourselves to wait 2 weeks before buying. 9 times out of 10, the urge just disappeared. Magic. And this became our golden rule. Is this more important than paying off our mortgage faster? If the answer was no, we cut it. Putting all that together, we saved over £1,000 every single month. It wouldn't look the same for everyone, but promise you, once you actually add everything up, you will be shocked. Strategy number 4. Let someone else pay for depreciation. Here's what most people don't understand. When you buy something brand new, especially a car, It's a depreciating asset. A new car loses 20 to 30% of its value in the first year alone. You still get the same function, transport, but you pay a premium for new. So we let someone else take the depreciation hit. Take our Tesla for example. A brand new Model 3 would have cost us over £45,000. We bought a solid second-hand one instead and saved £20,000 upfront. Same car, same performance. We just let the first owner absorb the loss. We applied this to our home too. Our dining table and 6 chairs cost us just £80 on eBay back in 2016. A new set would have been £800. 10 years later, we're still using them. Same with our kids' toys, clothes, and books. Most come from eBay, Facebook Marketplace, or local community groups. The quality? Honestly, brilliant, barely used, sometimes like new. For us, buying secondhand isn't about being cheap. It's about not paying a premium just to impress others. We got the good stuff at a fraction of the price, skipped the massive value drop, and kept more money to smash the mortgage faster. Strategy number 5, increase income. This was the real accelerator. Here is the thing. Cutting costs has a floor. Increasing income has no ceiling. You can only cut so much before it starts hurting your quality of life, but your earning potential, theoretically unlimited. We attacked this from 4 angles. First, career advancement. We both pushed to gain experience, learn skills, take bigger responsibilities, and most importantly, delivered results that made us expensive to lose. The more we proved our worth, the easier pay rises became. And when we changed jobs, those jumps were often 20% or more. Those career moves made the biggest monthly difference to our mortgage overpayments. Second, professional qualifications. We treated qualifications like investments. For me, that was become FCCA qualified and eventually achieving FCCA status. It meant long nights, tough exams, and a lot of pressure. But it completely changed my salary trajectory. It turned me from just another employee into an expert, and that gave me leverage to negotiate senior roles that paid for the effort 10 times over. Third, selling unused stuff. We sold everything we no longer needed: old phones, laptops, clothes, baby items, furniture, all on eBay, Facebook Marketplace, and local community groups. Easy, low after money, and every pound went straight to the mortgage. Fourth, side hustles. We sacrificed evenings and weekends, trading free time for what I call freedom buying time. Freelance consulting, tutoring, every extra hour worked was another brick we took back from the bank. If you have a professional skill, sometimes all it takes is being willing to trade a few Sundays now to own your life a decade earlier. There were things we didn't do but might work for you. Renting out a spare room, renting out a second car. Our lifestyle didn't fit, so we skipped them. But in the right situation, people make hundreds a month that way. Here is what happened. The more we earned, the more we overpaid. And as our income grew year after year, our overpayments accelerated with it. Every extra pound we earned felt like buying back our time, and that motivation, seeing the balance drop faster and faster, kept us going through the long nights and extra work. Strategy number 6. Be smart about how you overpay. The extra money we saved each month varied. Some months £300, other months £1,000. Instead of sending it straight to the mortgage immediately, we built what I call an overpayment pot. We opened high-interest regular saver accounts, the kind where you deposit a fixed amount each month and earn a high interest rate. We used Lloyds at 6.25% and NatWest at 5.25%, but there are plenty of good options. I will link Money Saving Expert in the description if you want to check current rates. And here is why this works so well. First, The money earns interest while sitting there, so you are making money on money that will eventually reduce your mortgage. Second, it keeps your options open. Once money goes into a mortgage, it's locked away. You can't easily get it back, but keeping it in a savings account first gives you flexibility before committing it permanently. Third, and this is key, most UK mortgages allow you to overpay up to 10% of your outstanding balance each mortgage year without penalties. So at the end of each year, we made a lump sum overpayment within that 10% limit. And because the allowance resets every mortgage year, we could repeat the process again and again, penalty-free. From a financial point of view, this is incredibly efficient. You are earning interest while keeping liquidity and staying within penalty-free limits. If you don't need the money by year end, boom, overpay the mortgage and watch that balance drop. Strategy number 7. Bonuses go straight to the mortgage. By this point, we already had control, so we asked, how do we speed this up? Bonuses became mortgage weapons. Most people use bonuses to upgrade their life. We treated them as mortgage ammunition. Every single pound went toward that 10% annual overpayment, penalty-free. Think about it. If your bonus is £5,000 and you put it straight onto your mortgage, you are not just reducing the balance by £5,000, you are cutting years of interest on that amount. This strategy alone shaved years of our mortgage term. And here is the final strategy, the one that brought everything together. We deliberately reduced the mortgage term every time we remortgage it. We started with 35 years. After 1 year, we cut it to 20, then 10 years, then 5 years. And finally, we paid it off completely. Each time we shortened the term, the monthly payment went up, forcing us to pay more every month, but not as much as people usually think. Why? Because we were already doing the previous 7 strategies. We cut unnecessary spending. We were buying second-hand. We had increased our income. We were using overpayment savings accounts and putting bonuses straight onto the mortgage. And as our income grew, we didn't let our lifestyle expand. We increased our fixed mortgage payment instead. So when we shortened the term, we already had the cash flow to handle it. And here's the beautiful part. Shortening the term gave us a deadline, a finish line. Seeing 5 years left instead of 30 years left was incredibly motivating. That's how we became mortgage-free in just 7 years. And that brings me to the part I'm most excited to share with you. So, what does life actually feel like when you're 100% debt-free? It's not just about numbers, it's about how you wake up in the morning. It's about how you make decisions. It's about how you think about the future. Here are the 4 biggest changes we experienced. 1. Deep confidence and peace of mind. The first change was internal. Paying off over £300,000 in 7 years felt like finishing a marathon we once thought was impossible. And when we crossed that finish line, something shifted. We stopped seeing ourselves as people with a big mortgage. We started seeing ourselves as people who finish what we start. That confidence spills into everything. And the mental freedom? Unreal. No more waking up at 3 a.m. with what ifs racing through your mind. No more checking into mortgage balance and feeling that weight on your chest. It's just gone. That peace of mind? Priceless. 2. The wealth snowball. Then the numbers changed. When the mortgage payment stopped, the difference was dramatic. For years, we had been sending a huge amount of cash straight to the bank. Suddenly, the money stayed. And when money stays, it compounds. Our savings didn't just grow, they accelerated. For the first time in our lives, our net worth started rising quickly. Without us fighting for every pound, it felt like someone had turned on a tap. Except this time, the water wasn't draining away. It was filling up. For the first time, we went from money chasing us to money working for us. 3. Economic security changed everything. Debt-free didn't just change how we felt, it changed how we decide. Right now, the economy feels uncertain. Layoffs are happening. People are nervous. But we aren't. Why? Because our fixed monthly costs are low. Even if something happened to our income, we could live on savings for a very long time. That security completely changed how we invest. We don't panic selling during market dips. We think long term. We make rational decisions, not emotional ones. And here's the biggest shift. We can now take calculated risk we'd never have considered before. Start a business, change careers, invest in opportunities that others are too scared to try. Freedom isn't just financial, it's the freedom to say yes to things that matter. 4. Better choices and lasting habits. Finally, being mortgage-free gave us choices, real choices. For example, when I decided to start this YouTube channel, I needed to invest in equipment, cameras, lighting, microphones. And for the first time, I didn't have to sit there calculating where we could afford it. I didn't have to ask, is this financially safe? Should we wait? Is this too risky? I simply decided I wanted to do it, and I did it. A few years ago, that same decision would have felt stressful. I would have analyzed every pound, worried about timing, and most likely talked myself out of it. That's the difference. But here's what surprised us the most. Even though we can afford more now, we don't feel the need to spend more. Those 7 years of discipline created habits that stuck. We still budget every month. We still buy secondhand. We still ask ourselves, do I really need this? The difference is, now, it's a choice, not a necessity. And honestly, choice feels a lot better than survival. So there you have it. 8 strategies that took us from a £330,000 35-year mortgage to completely debt-free in just 7 years. Was it easy? No. Did we sacrifice? Absolutely. But was it worth it? Without a doubt. Every single day we wake up mortgage-free is a reminder that we made the right choice. If you're sitting there thinking, I could never do this, trust me, I thought the same thing back in 2016. But here's the truth. You don't have to do all 8 strategies. Even 2 or 3 will make a massive difference. Start small, track your spending, cut one subscription, sell something you're not using. Put an extra £100 toward your mortgage this month. Every step you take is a step toward freedom. If this video helped you, do me a quick favor. Tap like, hit subscribe, and turn on the bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.